I am one with my glorious I Am presence and Holy Christ Self. My personalities, body elemental, and new spirit. All parts of my being are in balance, harmony, and alignment. My aura is fully contained within my heart diamond and within Metatron's cosmic egg. I am now ready to receive today's message. Greetings, beloveds. What a joyful time of celebration, of life's changes, is coming upon you. For you are all entering new stages of your life. From wherever you are now to your next step, there will be an upliftment, a raising of your vibrations, an increase in your joy, and much to celebrate, beloveds, as the way becomes clearer before you. As you make the choices, however difficult they appear to be at the time that you make them, to go forward with faith and trust and hope in a better world. You are the ones that are creating this better world, beloveds. And you do this by starting with yourself, your own world, and your own life. That is why these videos are largely based upon you becoming your true self, your authentic self, your whole self. For when you have all of the aspects of yourself available to you, you can make more enlightened choices. Choices that will bring you greater joy. As I said in the previous video, there are no right or wrong choices, beloveds. There are just different lessons that will come to you at different times. So do not be afraid to go forward. Do not be afraid to make the choices. Life will be glorious for you, beloveds. For that is what I have destined for you. And you are my beloved children. You are the ones that are listening to these videos, doing the spiritual work that is suggested to you. And please know that once you have begun this work, I have instantly taken you into my heart and into my being. And I hear everything that you say to me directly from your heart. Do not doubt this, beloveds. I am very much aware of you. And I am here to assist you and to guide you until you make the connection with your I Am presence, which will serve as the intermediary between your conscious human self and God, the great divine oneness consciousness that is truly directing and in charge of everything in all worlds. But until you get to that point, a little assistance should always be welcomed along the way. You do not have to struggle alone, beloveds. There is much assistance available to you. And as you make the connection with your divine self, you will see, as Christmas did these past few days, that choices are so much easier to perceive when you are connected to your divine self than when you are not. For her, it took the form of when she was connected to her divine self, and she would think about moving to their new city, she would always feel joyful, happy, excited about the new move, the new job for her husband, and the new life she would be beginning. However, on their first day there, the heater was broken in the hotel in which they stayed. And so the heater was on all the time. And though they contacted the maintenance people to fix the air conditioner because they thought the problem was with the air conditioner, the room was excessively hot. And so she did not fall asleep the whole night, except briefly at 5 a.m. and then awoke at 7 a.m. And so that whole day, she was not her usual self and was finding it difficult to connect to her divine self. And so as her husband and she contemplated the move, both of them were feeling ambivalent. They weren't sure. They thought, well, maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not. Maybe we should continue to look for other options and consider other possibilities. That evening, the problem was resolved. She had a good night's sleep in a cooler room, and the next day, when she contemplated the move, it felt wonderful again. That day was supposed to be the day of the interview that her husband was to have. However, the man who was conducting the interview was sent to the wrong city because he thought that her husband was applying for a job in that city instead of in Montrose. So the interview was put off again one more day, and even after the interview, they were not given a definite response. However, I have been telling them for some weeks that Montrose is their new home, that they will be going there. And so they had a combination of trust in the information that I was giving them, but also some doubt as to the actual accomplishment of what I had foretold them. It was quite easy for her to perceive at that point that the moments of doubt and the moments of faith strictly corresponded to her relationship to her own I Am presence, to her ability to be one with her I Am presence or not. This is how it will be for all of you, beloveds. When you are connected to your I Am presence, you will see clearly the best path that lays before you. And when I say the best path, beloveds, I simply mean the path of your heart, which is the path of your joy. However, when the way appears cloudy, when you appear confused, when you are full of doubts about where to go and what to do, let that be a sign to you that you are not at one with your I Am Presence, or your higher self, or the divine guidance that you are receiving. Today, when they received the definitive response that the job was his, my first words to them were, "I told you so." I do have a sense of humor, and I did want them to know that I was right all along, and that it was even I who put the seeming delays on their path in order to help them trust more in the messages that they are given. It is always a bit harder to trust in your messages when there is much at stake. When you have to make plans or spend money on things that totally depend on the outcome of what you are trusting in. I know this, beloveds, but this is part of how you will be put to the test, how you are able to demonstrate your unwavering faith, and how to allow that faith to become stronger with each experience of trust that you give yourself. For it is you who give yourself this trust. It does not come from us, from any divine being. This is something that you develop on your own by being put in situations where trust and faith are required. This is also why all of the events that are occurring in your life right now are perfect. They are perfect in the sense that they are bringing you whatever tests, experiences that you require in order to continue on your path of ascension and enlightenment. You have chosen this path, and no one promised that it would be easy. No one promised that you would be in the fast lane and simply be lifted up into ascension by our efforts. You are lifted up by your own efforts. By every positive thought you have. By every loving act you give forth to the world. By your faith and your trust in God and in the perfection of your own life. This will allow you to move into a worry-free state, where synchronicities will become more numerous in your daily life. You will begin to see God's hand in action in your world. And when you see God's hand in action in your world, give thanks, beloveds. Let God know that you are aware of the synchronicities, of the miracles, of his, her hand being active in your life, guiding you, showing the way, bringing the opportunities and the abundant grace that is yours because you have decided to serve God, to serve light, to serve the earth, and to serve humanity. You are doing wonderfully, beloveds. So do not be so hard on yourselves. Know that all is unfolding just as it should. Be joyous, be grateful, and know that I love you and bless you always. I am Metatron.